Schrock Innovations presents the Midwest #1 independent computer repair company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, Papillion, Des Moines, and across the country via the Schrock desk. This is Compute This.
Good morning, folks. Welcome into Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. As the big voice man said, we've got locations all over the place, ready to help you out with your computers. Yesterday, I did my globe-trotting around the world service center visit. I'm like Santa with a big truckload of holiday specials and laptops and everything else that I'm dropping off in the service centers. We could make a bad commercial out of it, really. And so, I hit the Papillion Service Center, spent some time over in the Omaha Service Center, got all the way down to the Des Moines Service Center, dropped their stuff off. Just seeing every service center I went to. And I don't know, have you guys noticed this? Like, just out and about, just if you go out at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and you drive, traffic is like atrocious. So yesterday in the Omaha Service Center, it's not unusual in that parking lot around 10. Usually the pet store has something going on. And, there's a kid's toy store. Fat Brain Toys is right next door to us over there. So they usually busy on a weekend, And, of course, a weekend during, November, they're going to be busy. But it was like next level busy in our parking lot yesterday morning in Omaha. And I'm like, oh, my gosh. And the lovely Kimberly comes in to put a Christmas tree up. And she says, do you know there are reindeer outside? And I'm like, no. And one of my employees is like, yeah, I saw something over there, but I didn't think they were reindeer. And I look outside and there's like a metal pen erected with 2 reindeer. And I'm like, what did you think they were? Like dogs? Like really big dogs? No, but so they actually had reindeer outside the Omaha Service Center yesterday. I was just like, oh my goodness. I could have put on my Santa suit and stood out there and kids would have started telling me what they wanted for Christmas. And I'd have been like, you want a holiday special laptop? Ho, 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 ho. Take one from mom too, But no, I mean, it was just one of those weird, crazy days yesterday. Yesterday was so crazy. In the Omaha Service Center on the bench, I saw something that I thought they were all gone. It was like when you get a glimpse of a Sasquatch and you're like, I thought that wasn't real. And then all of a sudden you turn around and there's one standing behind you. Yeah, it was like that. There was a 2010 holiday special on the bench. Customer brought it in because it wouldn't boot. I open it up and I pull out the original Generation 1 solid state hard drive. Gen 1 from 2010. Do you know how expensive 120 gig solid state was in 2010 money? You could probably buy a terabyte drive for that same price today. I mean, it was insanely expensive. That's why it was in the holiday special. And this is a 12-year-old computer. This solid state has been operating for 12 years. Now, it was now dead, and that's why the computer wouldn't boot. But a Gen 1 solid state, they didn't have trim technology. They didn't have load leveling technology. Literally, it was just like light the fuse and watch it go kind of hard drive. And of course, we didn't know that at the time. We didn't know it was a new technology. Everybody was kind of getting to know how solid state would impact their lives. But it's what made the 2010 holiday special so phenomenal. It was the first holiday special that had a solid state hard drive in it. So I get this thing on the bench, and sure enough, it's like toasty. And we've seen this in the years past. These hard drives would fail, and then the data is just unrecoverable. We weren't able to get it back in the data recovery lab. Well, we had a new piece of equipment. We had a PC3000 portable that we got a while back, and I've been slowly learning how to use it and learning how to do different things with it. So I hook up this Gen 1 solid state to the PC3000 portable, and using that device, the data extractor, I'm able to actually get the customer's data not only extracted, but perfectly extracted to the point we could clone it to another hard drive and put a new 120 in, a Gen 4 120, and the computer just flew again. So I go back and I look at the service history on this computer because I'm like, I was a little concerned, honestly. Like, I know we've had some new staff members, and I don't know that we have anybody besides me and the lovely Kimberly that were around in 2010. I don't know if Alfonso was with us then even, but so why would any of my guys know that is an old hard drive just looking at it like I do? So I go back and check because I want to make sure that nobody missed this. If this guy's been in for maintenance checkups every 6 months and they just let this hard drive go out the door every time, you got to be kidding me. One time, you got to be kidding me. We have not seen that computer. We have not laid a finger on that computer since 2010 when we built it. No maintenance, no checkups, no safe upgrades, nothing. It's been running since 2010 in the raw, if you will. So I called the customer, and he says, well, what did you do to make that hard drive fail so fast? I'm like, I haven't seen the computer in 12 years. I don't know what you think I did to it. I didn't touch it because you didn't have it in for maintenance. I haven't done anything to this computer. He was joking, of course, but he was like, 12 years on that original solid state hard drive. Now, obviously, I wouldn't expect any solid state hard drive to last 12 years. That just, they slow down, they wear out. I mean, that's just what happens. But for that drive to last that long was truly phenomenal. So I thought I'd share that story with you because once in a while, it's like when you're watching. Have you seen this new version of Pawn Stars they're doing where they travel around, where they go around different places and they see these giant things like Civil War cannons that no one's going to bring into like the Las Vegas pawn store. It's kind of like that. You see these crazy things on the bench as you go from shop to shop, and you shake your head and you marvel at somebody's been using that computer and it's probably been running like garbage. And it finally just died, and now he's got it back, and it's faster than ever, and you can use it for 3 more years. All right, number to join us on the program this morning, 888-250-2091. As we do every week, we're going to draw a winner at the end of the program for a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate, 888-250-2091. Quick program note, the show is recorded Sunday mornings at 7 a.m., so if you want to call in at 888-250-2091, call in between the hours of 7 and 8 a.m. Yay. Now, otherwise it rings busy or doesn't know what he answers, and you think, oh, this Thor guy doesn't want to take my call. It's not that. We're just not here, Program note number 2, we will be doing an aftershock after the program today. I had a debate in my brain. This stuff surrounding FTX.com, many of you probably have no idea what I just said. But FTX is a cryptocurrency exchange that went Enron all of a sudden. So, yeah, there's a lot going on with that. But I know that a lot of you really could care less about the crypto world. So I really debated whether I should cover that in the main show or not. I decided I'm going to cover that in its entirety during the Aftershock. So if you have an interest in that kind of thing, if you're interested in crypto, it's a great story. If you're interested in a dude that steals like $90 million and jumps on a plane for Argentina, it's a really cool story. If you're interested in how teachers' pension funds have lost millions and millions and tens of millions of dollars to a Ponzi scheme for a Democrat mega donor, it's a really interesting story. So I mean, there's a lot of angles to approach this story from, but this guy individually had a huge impact on the midterm elections, and now all of a sudden he's like most wanted. He's in the Bahamas right now, quote unquote, under observation. And I don't know what that means. Somebody's watching him to make sure he denies that he was fleeing to Argentina, that there's some rumors that he might want to end up in Dubai. So we'll it's truly an interesting story. It's a sad story for a lot of people. On Reddit, on the threads, people are posting suicide prevention hotlines. So, I mean, for some people, this is a mega loss. For some hedge funds, they lost half of their capital in this. So it could be up to a $10 billion kaboom. So we'll talk about that during the Aftershock because it's a fun story. It's an interesting story, but I'm not sure that it's a good fit for the main program. So just a quick program note, if that sounds interesting, the Aftershock happens at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations after the main program is over, and you can watch it there. And if you don't do the Facebook thing, that's fine. We also post the videos on our website at SchrockInnovations.com. Come to mention it, if you missed last week's show, last week we told you about the 2022 holiday special laptop and desktop computers. We warned you to stay away from those Black Friday specials that are out there that seem too good to be true. We kind of warned you some of the tricks of the trade of taking a computer and making it seem like it's a really great deal when really it's something you're going to use for 12 months and throw in the trash can. We also brought you up to speed on Elon's acquisition of Twitter. There's been some additional developments on that. If we have time, we'll get into those. Otherwise, it'll be Aftershock material. We told you a brand new feature on Windows 11 that automatically turns on the hotspot of your Samsung phone if you need it. Rather than you having to go into your phone and go to connections and go to hotspot and turn it on, Windows 11 will grab your Samsung phone and turn on your hotspot, of course, if you let it. automatically when you don't have internet so that you can get online whenever you're on the go. So it's pretty interesting there. All right. So coming up on the program today, we are going to touch on the holiday specials again, just because it is that time of year and we have new people picking up in the show every week. Won't spend a whole segment on it because I don't want to bore everybody who's heard it before, but there's some pretty cool stuff to talk about there. This Tuesday was also Patch Tuesday. So we're going to tell you about the patches that were downloaded to your computer and what you need to do to make sure they get installed. Also, some of you are going to be traveling this holiday season. Some of you will be flying. Some of you will be driving. I thought it might be a good idea to do a quick segment on some tech travel tips, because you see a lot of things posted in a lot of places, and some of them are scaremongering kind of things, doom stuff, and some of them are legitimate. Hey, you shouldn't do that. So we're going to go through and tell you all the things that you should and shouldn't do while traveling with your technology so that you can travel more safely. Also, do you use BitLocker on your computer? Do you know what BitLocker is? Is your hard drive encrypted? If your BitLocker is turned on, do you know that you may not be doing anything at all for your computer? Yeah, isn't that crazy? Do you need BitLocker? Microsoft seems to be pushing BitLocker more and more and more on regular everyday consumers. Is it something that you should do to your computer? Is it worth the performance hit? Is there a performance hit? We're going to talk about that coming up on the program as well today. 888-250-2091 is the number to join us. Now, I mentioned we're going to spend just a couple minutes on the holiday special laptop and desktop. Right now, kind of surprisingly, actually, they're selling at about an equal clip. Normally, the laptops kind of outsell the desktops. At the end of the sale, it's usually 2-to-1. But this year, it seems to be a pretty even clip. And I think a lot of that, if we look back a decade or 9 years back, the holiday special desktops that were sold then are now, we sold a lot of desktops those years. And they're kind of hitting their age now, where it's time, it's been a decade. It's time to move on or get a core upgrade or do something to them so that they're Windows 11 compatible, for example. So a lot of those customers, it's kind of the question, how often do you buy a new refrigerator, right? If you're in the refrigerator sales business, how much is a repeat customer worth to you? Because, they're going to come in once every decade and buy a refrigerator, right? For me, it's been like 15 years. We've had ours fixed twice. We were able to actually fix it. One guy suggested we use a paperclip to fix it. And we thought, wow, a paperclip. I guess we could use it for another 5 years if we stick a paperclip in it. Okay, done deal. Schrock's computers, you don't have to stick paper clips in them to keep them working, but they do last 10 years before they get to the point that the holiday special is documented to last up to 10 years, and then they get to a point where you have a legitimate question of should you spend the money on the labor to upgrade the parts, or should you look at a new computer with everything new and everything under warranty and all the new technologies. So a lot about the holiday special, people come in and they look at it and they say, Thor, that's an amazing computer, but it's way more computer than I need. I don't do that much. And everybody says, I don't do that much, as if they are not as much of a user as a normal user. So let me break it down Barney style. If everyone in a group of people says, I'm not a serious user, does that not make them the average user? Wow, you are an average user. You're not a power user. You're not a grandma just checking her AOL desktop gold email at home. You're somewhere in the middle, right? You're going to do some taxes on it. You're going to attach a photo to an email. You're going to print something to a printer. You're a normal user, right? And so what ends up happening is people buy computers for what they think they're using it for now. And that leads those computers to be obsolete by the time their needs change. And your needs will change over time. Think about what you were doing with your computer a decade ago. Let me just give you one example. We still have people who insist that their computer come with a cup holder. And there's some people have legitimate reasons. A few of them do. A few of them are burning DVDs. The cup holder is the DVD drive, if you didn't know. Like you push the button and it sticks out your coffee cup holder, because that's really all it's good for now. So we have some models of computers at Schrock that still come with DVD drives because customers they want them. But then when they recycle the computer 9 years later and we open the DVD drive, like the outside of the computer could be covered in like cat hair and dust and everything else. But the inside of that drive, it's almost like, the Pharaoh's tomb. It has not been opened, and you crack it open and like air from 10 years ago comes puffing out of it, and you're like, whoa. Nobody uses the dang things. So some people still get a little upset about that. So what we talk about with our holiday specials is the new technology that's taking the place of the old technology. Because if you consistently refuse to look at the new technology that's out there, eventually you're going to find yourself so outdated that your computer won't function for what you want to do. Doesn't mean we want to get rid of all the old technology. I mean, we don't put floppy drives in anymore. We don't want to get rid of the old tech yet necessarily, but we do want the benefit of the new technology. So some of the new technology, this year's holiday special, the holiday special desktop has 802.11ax internet. So you might have heard of 802.11ac internet. Before that, it was 802.11n. Before that, it was 802.11g. Before that, it was 802.11b. I don't know why they skipped so many letters. I don't know if those are like the versions that didn't work, like the Edison's light bulbs that wouldn't light. So the holiday specials, internet is incredibly fast. I had a customer ask me in the service center yesterday, how will the wireless internet on this compare to my wired internet at home? And I said, well, it can go 300 miles an hour faster. Like if you have the right router, it can outperform your wired connection. And of course, she didn't have the right router because you would need a cutting edge top of the line router to do that. But for what she's using it for Zoom meetings and streaming in the house and things like that, she had exactly what she needs, and the computer would have been just fine. The hard drive inside both the holiday special laptop and desktop is the KC3000 solid state hard drive. It's an NVMe solid state hard drive. It is the fastest hard drive on the planet. It is faster than Samsung. It is the fastest of the fast, and the holiday special comes with it. Most solid state NVMe drives, the really good ones, the Samsungs and the ADATAs and things like that, they're going to top out at around 1,200 miles an hour in a new computer. The KC drives go 1,600 miles an hour. And I know it sounds silly, but I mean, that's a huge increase. It's like a 25% performance increase on a computer that already has memory that is the fastest memory available for the AMD motherboards. The fastest processor available, the Ryzen 7 processor. I mean, why would you put a slow hard drive with a bunch of fast stuff? The laptop has the latest Intel processors in it. It has, again, 36 gigs of RAM. The desktop comes with 32. All the way around, the holiday special is way, way, way more than you probably need right now. But that's why 10 years from now, you can wander into my service center with an original hard drive in that computer and say, hey, it's been a great value, but it hasn't booted for me. It's not booting. What should I do? And he had to put a couple $100 into the computer for the first time in a decade. So now, obviously, we don't recommend that you just not maintenance your stuff and let it go. He is definitely an outlier. But what I'm telling you is that these computers are designed to be upgradable. They're designed to last. They come with amazing accessories. The monitor has a built-in webcam, microphone, and speakers built right into it, almost like an all-in-one. So that saves you a lot of desktop space there. The keyboard and mouse are wireless for the desktop. The laptop is a 15-inch touchscreen, which is nice. The keyboard is backlit. It's got all the little extras that you don't think about. Have you ever had to angle your monitor screen down so you can see the keys on your keyboard? Maybe you're one of those people that knows how to type and you don't have to look at the keyboard. Me, I don't hunt and peck because I know exactly where the keys are. I just peck ferociously because I was in that weird generation that you don't have to take typing anymore because typewriters are gone, but computers are new and maybe we should teach you how to type. No, I was in the middle, like right in the sandwich, right in the good Oreo stuffing area where I didn't have to learn that stuff. So I just peck ferociously. I can peck at like 45 words a minute. It's pretty crazy. But anyway, you can peck to your heart's content with the backlit keyboard. You'll know exactly where you're at all the time. It's truly some amazing stuff over at Schrock. So I'd encourage you to check it out. You can hit our website, SchrockInnovations.com, where you can price it out there. We do have a special discount going on through the end of November. It's $100 off, valid through the end of November. If you're online, it's coupon code HS for Holiday Special 2022. You just pop in that coupon code HS 2022. You'll get your $100 off. Otherwise, you can call into the service center, place your order over the phone, or come on in and take a look at them and place an order there. But that special coupon will go away at the end of November, and then after that, they're full price, full freight. So if you want to save yourself $100 in an inflationary environment where you're getting more computer for the exact same money you paid last year, which isn't happening in anything right now, now is the time to act. 888-250-2091. Got to take a quick break. When we come back, this last Tuesday was Patch Tuesday. What was downloaded to your computer and what do you need to do to make sure that your computer is properly patched and protected? Coming up next on Compute This.
Can't teleport technicians to you, but online help is only a click away with the Schrock Desk. Subscribe today and get unlimited help whenever you need it. In 1798, Eli Whitney's Connecticut Musket Factory was the first business in North America to use replaceable parts in a firearm. Before Eli's factory, if your musket broke, you had to send it away to an expert gunsmith for repairs, or just toss it and buy a new musket. Technology manufacturing has come a long way since the 18th century, but you wouldn't know it by looking at today's big box store computers. Dell, HP, Sony, and other manufacturers continue to take away your freedom to upgrade and repair your computer by eliminating expansion and repair options. Some desktops are even powered by a tiny laptop adapter. Schrock Innovations believes in Eli Whitney's idea of interchangeable and replaceable components, and that's why our custom-built modular computers last longer and cost less to repair than computers you see at big box stores. Ask your friends and family how often they replace their box store computers, and they'll probably tell you every couple of years. And what do they do with the old machines? They just get thrown out like broken muskets. Imagine a place where your computer's problems can be fixed quickly and inexpensively. Imagine keeping your computer for 6 years or more. You are imagining the kind of computers we build every day at Schrock Innovations. Our modular systems last longer, perform faster, and cost less over the long term than anything you can buy at a big box store. While the talented technicians at Schrock Innovations can't make you a musket even if they tried, our commitment to the freedom offered by modular computers is the modern-day extension of Eli's innovative musket factory. We think Eli Whitney would be proud, and you can take pride in owning a small piece of American innovation. The modular computer from Schrock Innovations. Compute This Pro Tip 843. Of all computer failures, the scariest and most expensive is the hard drive. But there are some steps you can take to save money and save your data before it's too late. Detecting failures early is important, so install a free utility like Drive Advisor from driveadvisor.com to monitor your hard drive's health and receive warnings when there's a problem. But most of all, hard drive failures happen slowly, so early detection is key to reducing the repair bill. Second, if your hard drive makes any unusual noises, immediately turn off your computer and do not turn it on again. These issues are physical problems, and the more you try to use it, the worse the damage becomes. Remember that most computer repair shops do not have the specialized equipment needed to recover data from a failed drive. Never open your drive or allow anyone else to do so. Opened drives always cost more to recover. Schrock does not charge for data recovery evaluations and quotes, so let the local pros look at your drive before you make any recovery decisions. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back into Compute This. Boy, you're missing out if you're not reading the comments on Facebook at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations right now. Eileen pops in and says, I was a typing teacher for 45 years. Don't look at your fingers while typing. Ha, ha, ha. I'm like, I know, Eileen. I know I'm not supposed to. And then, the shop responds, he doesn't have to look, but he does type with 2 fingers. I use at least 4 fingers. There's a thumb on the space bar sometimes. I mean, come on, 2 fingers? Give me a little more credit than that. Come on. Oh, see, it's disaster preparedness. In the event of a loss of phalange, I can still operate a computer. Oh my goodness. 888-250-2091. Let's get into those phones. Al, thanks for calling the program. How can I help you today on Compute This?
Good morning. Thanks for taking my call. I got a file from my medical folks that ends in .tif.
Okay.
And I'd like to be able to read it on both my tablet, which is Android, and my laptop, which is Windows 10.
Okay.
What is the best
All right, so
place to go to get those? I'm a little leery of clicking on unknown links.
Gotcha.
That I
So
find on the web.
the .tif format is a Macintosh picture format. It was popular back in the day. You don't see them very often anymore. In fact, are you certain that that's from your medical provider?
Yes, I am.
Like you requested it and then they sent it to you?
Yeah, it was the results of a study they did for me.
Okay. Just making
And they came to me on their one chart thing.
Okay, just making sure, because sometimes TIFF files can also be used to transmit viruses. So, you got to be careful with what you're opening. But your TIFF file, the TIFF file on the computer should open up with the regular Microsoft Photos program. If it doesn't open with that for some reason, especially on Schrock computers, we install a program called VLC Media Player, which is like a Rosetta Stone for opening media files, whether they be pictures, whether they be videos. Even if they're damaged, they'll still open. So that would be what you would use there. And on your phone, your Android Gallery app should be able to open that TIFF file just fine for you. So the default programs on the computer should be good to go to open that on both locations.
It doesn't do anything, though, when I tried it on both.
What happens when you double click on it? Does it give you a message like, what do you want to open this with?
Nope.
It doesn't give you any message at all?
No, it just sits there and looks at me like,
okay,
I don't know.
So basically, try right-clicking on the file next time. And I guess, taking this back a step, I'm assuming that you've already got this file downloaded to your device. So in other words, you're getting it from the internet, I'm guessing, and you've already got it downloaded. So if your problem is when you're clicking on it, it's not downloading, that's one problem. I'm assuming you've already got it downloaded and you're trying to open it.
Correct. That's right. I can see it when I go there with File Manager or whatever we call that thing nowadays.
Okay. Yeah. So next time you see that one, go ahead and right click on the file, and then you'll see an option there that says Open With. So right click on the file, select Open With, and then it'll give you a list of programs that you can use to open that. Those are the most common ones. If you have a Schrock computer, you'll have VLC Media Player. Select that one and use it to open it. If you don't have VLC Media Player, start off, just try each program that's in the suggested list. One of them, the default one, should work. I know VLC will work, but the default photo viewer should work there as well. Thanks for the call, Al. We got to run here at the bottom of the hour. I appreciate the time you took to call in, and we've got you in the drawing as well. 888-250-2091. Going to take a quick break. When we come back, Patch Tuesday was this Tuesday. We're going to tell you what was downloaded to your computer and also some holiday travel tips, some basics to keep you safe while you're traveling so that you don't end up screwing up your devices, frying them, getting them infected, all those nasty things that happen at the airports and everything else during the holidays. We're going to tell you what to look out for coming up next on Compute This.
If you can dream it, Schrock Interactive's website developers can make it happen. Refresh your website, automate sales and marketing, and grow your business today with Schrock Interactive. Every person listening to this broadcast has either experienced data loss or knows someone who has. When you think about it, you have a lot more data stored in many more places than you'd like to admit. Have you downloaded those videos from your phone, backed up the pictures on your iPad, or even tackled that sometimes daunting task of backing up your entire computer's hard drive? Most people just don't back up their stuff, and that's why Schrock Innovations has one of the most advanced data recovery centers in the Midwest. Equipped with the latest DDI data imaging devices, state-of-the-art custom recovery software, and Omaha's best data recovery technicians, Schrock Innovations has a 96.8% success rate when recovering data from damaged hard drives, flash drives, camera cards, and more. We all know we should back up our data, but if you are ever caught in a data loss nightmare, call the experts at Schrock Innovations to get your data back right where it belongs, safe and backed up on a stable hard drive. Compute This Pro Tip 578. Technology is constantly changing, so how can you tell when the time has come to recycle your old outdated computer and invest in a new one? Experts have rules of thumb and formulas, but Schrock believes the answer is simple. You should replace your old computer when it can no longer do the things you need in a secure way. For example, you should not be using operating systems like Windows XP or Vista because they're no longer maintained by Microsoft and they're not secure. And if your computer cannot run Windows 10, it's probably time to begin saving for a replacement. If your existing computer requires requires a repair, and that cost is 50% or more of the cost of a new computer, it might be time to consider a replacement. But keep in mind, additional costs like data transfers and important software you have to upgrade, like genealogy software or Quicken. And also keep in mind that modern computers are engineered to last 18 months for a normal user. And don't worry, you are considered a normal user. Schrock modular PCs and solid-state laptops are specifically designed to last 4 to 6 years for that same normal user, saving your family money and time. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Fox News, I'm Karen McHugh. President Biden taking time in the middle of the ASEAN summit in Cambodia to meet today with the leaders of Japan and South Korea. On the agenda,
today we'll discuss how we can strengthen our supply chains and economic resilience, and how we can preserve peace and stability across the Taiwan Straits.
The president heads for Bali, Indonesia later today for the G20 summit. Democrats will maintain their majority status in the Senate following last night's declared win in Nevada for incumbent Catherine Cortez Masto.
It's going to be at minimum a 50-50 Senate, which is what we've been having here so far. So even if Democrats lose the runoff in early December in Georgia, between Herschel Walker and Senator Raphael Warnock, guess what? It's still 50-50. They could go to 51-49. The reason is that you have Vice President Harris, who can potentially break ties there.
Fox's Chad Pergram. America is listening to Fox News.
Now, the News Radio 1110 KFAB Weather Watch.
Partly sunny this afternoon with a high of 35. Southeast winds 5 to 10. Could gust as high as 20 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy. Steady temps overnight around 31. And then on Monday, a 30% chance of snow, mainly afternoon. Cloudy with a high of 36. Tuesday, partly sunny. We'll have a high around 32. There's your forecast. I'm Roger Olson.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back into Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. 888-250-2091. Patch Tuesday was this last Tuesday, so you may have noticed your computer downloading some updates. It may be asking you to reboot, or if it hasn't asked you to reboot yet, you might just want to reboot it anyway, just to give it the opportunity to install those patches. Up to 14 days after, it'll ask you, and then at 14 days, the computer, ready or not, it's going to reboot. It's going to install all those updates. This Patch Tuesday actually patched 11 critical security vulnerabilities, including 6 zero-day vulnerabilities that were actively being exploited to attack Windows users. 64 patches in total. They also fixed that trusted devices driver thing we talked about a couple weeks ago on the program that they screwed up during the last Patch Tuesday. They fixed that one here. There were critical updates. Let's see, Exchange server. So the servers got updates. Consumers got updates. Remote code execution through PowerShell. We've seen that on the Service Center. Why is this thing opening up 15 PowerShell windows? Well, it's because it's trying to launch a virus to encrypt your hard drive, but Sophos keeps stopping it. So let's get rid of it. Oh, golly. So critical and actively exploited remote code execution vulnerability. They need to lure victims to a specially crafted website or server, something that could be achieved with a phishing attack. So they send you the email with the link, and then they run exploit code. So that's as easy as what, guys, your computer. I literally had somebody come into the Service Center the other day. They buy a new computer, and they say, I've been using computers at home for 13 years. I've never had a virus. I don't think I'm going to start buying antivirus now. And I said, okay. You know, I can make you buy antivirus, but you are one Google search away, one wrong click away from this happening to you. And this was happening on Windows 11 computers, guys. This was happening on active, current, highly secure computers. Can you imagine how bad it is if you're still using Windows 7 with no patches and no support and no antivirus and no nothing? It's a nightmare. So I will remind everybody, we're going to do a segment here on holiday travel tips, but probably the biggest travel tip that you can have is to make sure that your device is protected by Sophos. Guys, I know it's not cheap. I know. And I mean, when I say it's not cheap, it's not going to put you in the poorhouse either. It's not like it's, ridiculously expensive. $1 million, not like that. Yeah, no pinky in the mouth kind of stuff. But it's also not protect 50 devices for $6 a year. No, it's not. What do you think you're getting with Norton LifeLock, with your Norton 360 protection, or your McAfee Live Safe protection or Live Safe. Is it Live Safe or Live Safe? I don't really know. It's spelled the same way. Or if your AVG, it's so good it's free. It's like, I'm not going to go into that right now. I'm going to be good. But that's your number one holiday travel tip. Make sure your computer is properly secured and make sure you reboot your computer. Take the opportunity to reboot your computer, whether it's a laptop or a desktop, so that it has an opportunity to install the patches that have been downloaded this previous Patch Tuesday. If your computer has been off all week, you might turn it on and just leave it on overnight so it can download everything and get it all installed so that you can reboot it in the morning. 888-250-2091. Kathy, welcome to the program. How can I help you today on Compute This?
Well, I have an Android cell phone, okay? And my great-granddaughters keep sending me pictures of my great-great-grandson.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, how can I download them?
Okay, so can you see the pictures?
Oh, I can see the picture, but it's embedded in a text. So it's a case of where I'd have to download the text in order to get the picture as well.
Gotcha. So on your phone, if you press and hold your thumb or any digit, it doesn't have to be a thumb, press and hold on the picture for about 2 seconds and a menu will pop up. And one of those options should be Save to Device. Now the menu
Save to what?
Save to Device.
Oh, okay.
Now, the menus will be different based on the type of phone you have. Every phone has different menus, and every version of Android has different menus. But there's usually some variant of that. Save to device, or save file to, save to phone, or download. There's always some variant of that allows you to save it to the device itself. And then once it's saved in the device, with an Android phone, you can just hook it up to a computer with a cable. And you can copy everything right off the phone onto your computer if you want. Or you have it on your device and you can look through it in your photo gallery then.
Okay. Okay, I will definitely give that a shot.
No sweat. And if you have trouble, just when you're near a service center, pop in. This is one of those things that we can answer and help you out with in 2 minutes or less, and we're happy to do that at no cost for you.
Yeah, well, I have to bring it in for the maintenance checkup anyhow. So
well, there you go. We'll download some pictures while you're in there.
If I haven't made it by then, I'll go ahead and have you give me a hand with it when I bring in the computer.
Sounds good. Thank you for your call, Kathy. I appreciate you taking the time to join us this morning. 888-250-2091. That's 888-250-2091. All right, so a lot of you are going to be traveling this holiday season for Thanksgiving, for Christmas. It's important that you follow some basic safety tips while traveling to keep your technology safe, to keep your information safe. Number one, remember back in the day they'd say, don't leave your bag unattended because someone will steal your passport out of it or something? You see that in the movies, the guy walks by and he slides a passport out of your bag and just keeps on walking like, he's going to be Angela Smith, like I'm thinking. But it's kind of like that. So with you have your smartphone, your device, right? There's a lot of waiting. There's a lot of sitting around. People be playing the games. People be watching the movies. The screens are on, the batteries are draining. So there's always a temptation to plug in wherever you can. So one of the things that at the airport, some of the chairs have USB ports in them now. At the airport, there are these charging kiosk stations that are around. Not all of them are as legitimate as they might appear. So be careful where you plug your phone, because just like what I was talking with Kathy, if you plug in your Android phone, a lot of stuff can get downloaded from the phone. Also, things can get uploaded to a phone. So you have to be careful where you plug your phones in. So I recommend you keep a backup battery with you that you can plug into your own battery, or save that a charger, like your own charger that you plug into an electrical outlet, which of course can be hard to find sometimes, but that's going to be the safest way to keep your device topped off and charged while you're on the go. Have a backup battery with you. It'll save you a ton of trouble. You can charge the backup battery off of any of those public charging things just fine, because the backup battery doesn't save any data. It doesn't have any information in it. It can't carry a virus. It can't infect your computer. It can't do anything like that. Charge your device off the battery and then recharge the battery at the public charging stations. All right, number two. When you are traveling, you are going to join free wireless networks, whether they be at restaurants, coffee shops, hotels, airports, whatever the case might be. You're going to find yourself on a public Wi-Fi at some point. Be aware that while you are on a public Wi-Fi, it is possible for anything that you send over that Wi-Fi to be intercepted. Now, some websites like Gmail and Facebook have introduced encryption technology that makes it very difficult to intercept their data, but that does not apply to every other piece of data that's being sent from your phone. Every app on your phone is transmitting data. The phone itself is transmitting data. These are all little tidbits of information that individually aren't important, but aggregated together can be very revealing about a person and their travels. So one of the things that you can do if you are concerned about your privacy as you travel, if you want to maintain your privacy as you connect to different networks, is install a VPN, a virtual private network. You've heard me talk about these before. There's basically, if you put the VPN on the device, you tell the device I'm in Dallas, Texas, and the device is in Dallas, Texas. Even as you fly around the world, the device is in Dallas, Texas. And there's anyone tracking you thinks you're in Dallas, Texas. You go to Lowe's.com, you do a search for a plunger for a toilet, and it's going to say, do you want to pick it up at the Dallas Lowe's? You know, it literally, you can't order a pizza if you're running a VPN because it's trying to geo-target you to know which Pizza Hut to send you to or which Papa John's to send you to. Literally, if you have your VPN turned on, you cannot order a pizza. So there are some limitations that you want to be aware of. But while you're traveling, if you have that VPN installed on your mobile device or your laptop, literally nobody knows where you're at. Nobody knows. Everything is encrypted. Everything's going through a different computer somewhere else. And that's the way you want it. Number 3, secure your devices with passwords or lock codes. I know I've seen it in the service center all the time. People come in with their device and they have us install Sophos, and Sophos throws a security alert that their password is not sufficient. Some of them don't have passwords at all. The device, you just hit the power button, the device turns on. What happens if you lose that phone at the airport? What happens if that falls out of your pocket on the plane? What happens if you leave that phone in the hotel room or it gets balled up with the sheets in the laundry and taken down to the laundry? Does somebody have complete access to your life and all your photos and everything that you have on that device? Make sure you've got a password or a lock code or a face code or something set on their facial recognition, something set up on the phone to keep it locked unless it's in front of you. So there you go. Be careful when you're using public Wi-Fi's, by the way. Yes, it's good to have a VPN installed, but be aware that some nefarious people will set up fake Wi-Fi networks called Starbucks Wi-Fi. And it'll be an open Wi-Fi that you can access. And when you access it, you're actually on a bad guy's router in a backpack somewhere that is skimming all the information that's sent through the router. So be aware when you join Wi-Fi's that you're joining a legitimate Wi-Fi, that it is the real deal and not something that's fake. So those are a few travel tips to help you keep your devices safe while you're traveling, keep them charged up because we want to be able to use them, right? And make sure that when you get home, your identity and your technology are all left intact. 888-250-2091. Dave, welcome to the program. How can I help you today on Compute This?
Good morning, Thor.
Morning.
Hey, I was down in one of your offices this last week and got the Sophos down onto my iPhone.
Yes, sir.
And when I open up the app for that, it immediately brings up a deal in the middle that says install configuration profile. It says your organization has configured a web filtering for your device. Follow the instructions to turn it on. Do you know what that's doing there?
Well, I've never heard that one before. That one is new to me, so I'm going to defer you to Chris on that one. Dave, I've got your phone number here, so I'm going to send a message. Chris is our Sophos administrator over at Schrock, and I'm going to send him a message to give you a call to just if that's happening to you, it could be happening to other people. So I just want to make sure when we deploy Sophos on any device, whether it's a phone, a tablet, a computer, a laptop, the web filtering technology keeps track of websites that we know are going to infect your computer when you go to them. And that list changes. Websites can go on the list, and then when they clean themselves up, they can get taken off the list. So that web filtering is basically, if you try to go to one of those websites that we know is infected, the device will not let you load the website. because we know it's going to impact your device until they clean up their act, and then we let it go through again. So that's the web filtering tech. That's what is not configured apparently, or not working for your device. We want to make sure we get that configured and working. So I want to have Chris in our Des Moines Service Center give you a call back. He's our Sophos administrator, and he will know step by step what to do to get that turned back on for you. If it's something we can turn on remotely, we certainly will. But it sounds like there might be a missing permission or something that is preventing it from turning on automatically. Because normally once we install it, all that stuff just turns on. You're not supposed to see messages like you're seeing. So something isn't right. But I want to get that addressed for you.
It's asking me to download something. I've actually done it about 3 or 4 different times. But then when I open that up, I have no clue what it's a mobile configuration, some deal, or whatever, and I'm lost. So
that's not your job anyway. That's our job. That's what you're paying us for. So
okay.
Let me get you taken care of. I'll get Chris in touch with you, and he'll get that all resolved for you.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate it. All right. Make sure we get flagged on there so I don't forget at the end of the show to send that on to Chris. That would be embarrassing. 888-250-2091. All right, guys, we're going to take our final break of the program here. When we come back, we're going to talk about something that sounds incredibly flipping boring. BitLocker. What is BitLocker? Should you turn it on? Do you need it? Does it keep you safer? Does it impact the performance of your computer? If you turn it on, does it even do anything? Some of these answers are going to really surprise you, and we're going to tell you all about it coming up next on Compute This.
Drive Advisor is a free program from Schrock Innovations that monitors your hard drive's health and tells you if it's going bad. Download it for free at driveadvisor.com.
Remember the good old days when virus detection worked like Where's Waldo? Spot the virus in the striped shirt and you win. Today's infections are changing hourly to avoid detection and use social engineering to trick you into making mistakes. Using yesterday's security to defend against today's threats is like using leeches to stop an infection. It just doesn't work. We recommend Sophos Intercept X antivirus backed by Schrock's virus-free guarantee. Sophos uses the power of AI to detect the patterns of a virus attack and responds with Schrock's custom actions that stop it fast. With Sophos on your PC, Mac, Android, or iOS device, you get the state-of-the-art protection you need to defend against the most advanced attacks out there. In fact, if your device gets a virus while running Sophos antivirus, Schrock will remove it for free, guaranteed. It hasn't happened yet, and we intend to keep it that way. Ditch your dad's antivirus and keep your device, data, and identity safe with Sophos and Schrock Innovations.
Compute This Pro Tip 178. Those little life-saving surge protector strips are vital to your computer's health and should be used whenever possible, even for laptops. As computers get smaller and more powerful, they're also becoming more sensitive to dirty power, and your power is a lot dirtier than you might think. Even if you have a whole home surge protection, most power surges are generated within your own home. If you've ever vacuumed and seen the lights get dimmer and brighter, you created a surge. Surge protectors can only absorb so much energy measured in joules. When that capacity is exhausted, your surge protector becomes a glorified extension cord and needs to be replaced. You should always look for surge protectors that give audible alerts when they're no longer able to protect your equipment. Schrock recommends these because the lights on most strips are just power lights and they don't tell you when it's time to replace the unit. If in doubt, replace your surge protectors annually to keep your expensive TVs, computers, and other electronic equipment safe. This pro tip is brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, guys, final segment of the program. Don't forget, we're going to do the Aftershock coming up next here, where we'll talk about all things that are interesting, but not interesting to everybody. See, during the show, we try to tell you about things that are interesting to everybody, like BitLocker, right? Everybody's talking about BitLocker. I mean, everybody. Like, I was at the grocery store at Hy-Vee the other day. I was going through the checkout lane, and I heard the lady behind me wondering out loud if her children were using BitLocker. You know, I hear it everywhere. I don't hear it anywhere. I'm just messing with you. So what is BitLocker? All right, BitLocker is an encryption program that encrypts all the files on your hard drive. How far have we come with encryption technology? When Bill Clinton was president in the 1990s, pretty good protection, PGP, was brand new. And there was a fear that if the average consumer could encrypt their hard drives, it would cripple the ability of surveillance agencies to monitor what those civilians were doing. And if those civilians ever tried to do anything nefarious, we wouldn't be able to figure it out. If they got arrested for doing something wrong and we grabbed their technology and it was all encrypted and we couldn't get into it, well, biscuits. You know, that's going to be a problem. And now here we are today where it comes pre-installed on every computer and Microsoft is actually turning it on by default on some computers now. So BitLocker, what it does, and just like any other encryption software, it encrypts all the files on your hard drive so that they can only be opened by somebody who is logged in with your user credentials. So let me give you an example. We had a computer come into the service center this last week that had belonged to someone who was deceased, and their family brought it in and asked us if we could remove the password. Do we know that this person was actually deceased? Do we know that the computer wasn't stolen? Do we know anything? No, we don't know anything. All we know is somebody brought a computer into the service center and said, "Can you remove the password and get us access to the computer?" Computer was set up with a Microsoft account. We said, "Well, can't you do the password resets? Can we do this the easy way? We don't have to charge you then." And unfortunately, no, the cell phone's been canceled, the email's shut down, so they can't do the password resets. So sure enough, okay, so how much is it going to cost? Is it going to be like really, really expensive to get the password removed from the computer? And they were new customers. They had the new customer coupon, so they got their first hour of labor for free. And we said, nope, it'll be free because literally I can remove the password from this computer in about 15 minutes. That's a password associated to a Microsoft account. And we can remove it from a computer in 15 minutes and get full access to all of your files. That's what your password's worth. It keeps honest. It's like what my dad used to say, locking the car door just keeps the honest people honest. Because if you're really a bad person, you're just going to break the window. But it keeps the honest people honest. You lock the door, you lock the screen door to keep the honest people honest. Because it's not going to stop a hardened criminal. A screen door is not going to stop somebody who wants to get in. So encryption gives you an added layer. Let's say this person had BitLocker installed on the computer and we removed their password. When we reboot that computer, we can't see anything. It won't even boot because we blew up the password credential that had the key saved to see the files. So we take the hard drive out of the computer. We'll show you. We plug it into another computer. And guess what we see? We see a blank hard drive because it's all encrypted. We can't see how much data is there. We can't see what it says. We can't even get the file names because it's all encrypted. Do you need that level of security in your life? When viruses get into your computer, if they don't have the encryption key, if they're trying to run in a user account that's not your account, which happens from time to time, this is called elevated privileges, where they take a guest account and then they elevate the privileges to be an administrator. Well, if your stuff is encrypted, it can't be accessed by somebody other than you. Therefore, we can't encrypt your data with ransomware. So there are some benefits to having BitLocker installed. There are also some side effects that are not so desirable. It will impact the speed of your solid-state hard drive. Decrypting and encrypting all the time takes time. It doesn't take a lot of time, but it does slow things down a little bit. Initially, when you enable BitLocker, it takes forever to turn it on. And if we ever have to clone or repair your hard drive, first thing we have to do is decrypt your hard drive. So in the situation where your hard drive is in a failure state, having BitLocker turned on can be a death sentence because by the time we get BitLocker turned off, the hard drive is gone. And it has to go to the data recovery lab for a couple grand to get its data back. We don't want that. The third other potential thing to think about here is the BitLocker key. If you lose the decryption key, you are locked out of your own data and there is no way to get it back. That's why Microsoft, when you set up a Microsoft account on a computer, if you have BitLocker enabled, it saves your BitLocker key to your Microsoft account. That way, if you ever lose the key and you freak out about it, we say, do you have a Microsoft account? And you're like, I don't know. And we put in your email address and it says, what's the password? And then we reset the password because you don't know the password. And then we get into your Microsoft account and then we can get your BitLocker key. Then we can get your hard drive decrypted. Then we can fix your computer. So this is 2022 computer repair, guys. This is how the world is now. It's a lot more complicated than it used to be. So here's a fun fact for you. If you turn BitLocker on, it's on and you're encrypted, right? Not necessarily. If you have a solid-state hard drive that uses hardware-based encryption, which every Western Digital Passport external hard drive, you know why they call it the Passport? It's not because it's the size of a passport. It's because it's encrypted and secure like a passport. So when you put stuff on that external hard drive, it's encrypted. If you try to take that stuff off of the external hard drive without going through that decryption chip, you just get gibberish. Hardware encryption is fast. It's built right into the drive. It's way faster than BitLocker. So if you have hardware encryption turned on and you turn on BitLocker, BitLocker says, no need for me to do anything. You're hardware encrypted. So we're just going to chill out over here and say we're turned on, but we're not going to really encrypt anything. So now you're trusting whoever made the hard drive to actually be encrypting your stuff with a key that is automatic, that if the hardware fails, you never knew the key, so you can't decrypt the data without the key that's stored in the chip, which means if the hard drive ever fails, we're in a microelectronics repair. We have to repair a microchip in order to get the data back off the drive. We can do it, but it's not fun and it's not cheap. So BitLocker, my recommendation for customers, BitLocker is a great security tool. If you have data on your computer that is not, business critical data, you don't need BitLocker. If you're saving all of your personal medical records and your financial history and everything else on your computer, you should probably have BitLocker. If you're using your computer for common everyday tasks, no need to equip BitLocker. BitLocker comes free with Windows 11. It's something that can be turned on. We do not turn it on by default. As I said, it introduces complications with data and everything else. But it's one of those things where you want to be aware that you have these security options available to you, especially if you're about to travel. Edward Snowden would tell you that you need to turn on encryption on your computer at all times, especially if you're traveling, in case your computer gets seized at the airport, because we all worry about that. Today's winner, the $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate, is Kathy. Congratulations, you've got yourself $25 over at the Service Center. Marissa will get that added to your Schrock account, and you can use that at your convenience. Quick reminder, we'll have an Aftershock coming up here right after the program. Give me about 6 minutes to get reset, and then we'll get into the Aftershock, where we're going to talk about the FTX explosion. If you want to hear a great financial story of ruin, this is going to be it for a lot of people and a lot of pension funds. We're going to tell you what's going on. And then we'll see you again next weekend for another exciting edition of Compute This.
From the Amish Furniture of Nebraska studio,